Now I think that's all set up. Just gonna double check here. It's not showing that on live. Boom, 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 boom. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. No, it's not showing that I'm online, but I'm sure. I'm sure it's connected in. I hope so, anyways. I'm gonna post. Hmm. I'm gonna post match reaction. Obviously. Sorry, guys. I'm just setting it up. You know what I mean? Up, just make sure everything is. You get me? Aligned in that. I'll be honest, this might be a complete flop, but doing it anyways. I'm gonna do this live and gonna post this. Gonna start doing match reactions for the games and what what are my takeaways. So I'm just adjusting this. Da, 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 da. Right. Little one going mad because he wants in. Yeah, man, little man's fuming as well. The guy's 1 year old. He's getting mad. I had to tell him, yo, relax. Isaiah. Yo, people. Just saying. I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not 100% sure if I'm streaming right now, so I'm just gonna double check. I'm just doing some checks. So this computer's making mad slow. Isaiah. So the last thing I want to do is obviously record, or last thing I want to do is do a whole video and then realize that I weren't recording. Do you know what I mean? I haven't really got time like that. But I'm live. Just want to make sure it works. I'm not showing that. It's not showing that I'm live on my channel. Let me see. Okay. My channel. Let me see. Alright, cool. The live's working. Sweet. Alright, cool. Yeah, the live's working. The live's working, which is good. Right. So this is just a quick live reaction to what I thought about the game in it. And obviously, he's not great. We lost 2-0 to Hull. Opening game of the season, you know. Everyone's gonna be laughing at United right now. I'll be honest. Everyone's gonna be laughing at us. Rightly so, kind of deserved, I guess. It is what it is, part of the game, innit? But me, the way I'm looking at it is, I'm not worried because it was so, for me anyways, it was clear to see what was wrong and what kind of went wrong with United. Like, because I think I want to go back to that pre-season. Obviously, we had a good end to last season, ended it strong, and we've come into this game, or we've gone into pre-season, and we've been playing a certain way. Now, honestly, I think any 11 that we put out should be able to beat Hull. But what they did do well, I'm just going to talk about what they did do well, to be fair to them, is, they scored 2 goals, 2 set pieces, which at the end of the day, a goal's a goal, you have to defend them, but they just defended so well and they just nullified any attack that we had. Any attack that we had, nullified. And it was like, it just seemed like toothless a bit. Do you know what I mean? It just seemed like we didn't have any bite. Like we couldn't get anything out of them. So that's maybe a credit to Hull, but definitely I think the elephant in the room is just Bruno Fernandes, man. I think we're past the Bruno, being the savior of the club. Like, I don't understand how we got 90 minutes of football today. All through pre-season. And I'll say, obviously, I want Carrick to do well. I think, what he done for us the back end of last season. I want Carrick to do well. I think he set us up well in a lot of the games last season, but I think Bruno, man, like how this guy keeps forcing himself or keeps getting into the team, and no one's going to talk about it. If he'd have got a goal today or if he'd have got an assist today, everyone will be like, oh, cool, yeah, the team was rubbish, but Bruno still got an assist. He didn't get an assist today. He didn't get a goal today. So it's like, what is he actually, like, I just feel like in that 10 role, especially the way we're trying to play, I just feel like he's weak. Like he doesn't have that half turn. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't have that creativity where he can pick up the ball. Like he kept dropping in deep because he can't play in little pockets of space. I don't think his touch is good enough. Whereas when we have Xerxes in there, or even a Shea Lacey in there, they can receive the ball on a half turn and make things happen. Whereas Bruno will keep dropping deep because he needs space in order to do what he does. Do you know what I mean? So I'd say even put him on the right midfield. I just think it was a shame that we never got to see Ahmad because he picked up a knock during training this week. It would have been nice to see him, but this one's got to be on Carrick. Like the lineup, I just think all through pre-season, man. We've seen Xerxes in the 10, we've seen Mbeumo up top, Dorgu on one wing, Ahmad on the other. Now, obviously, Ahmad is injured, so he couldn't play. But I would have never put Mbeumo right wing. Like it doesn't work. Every time we saw him there during Carrick's last 6 months, during the back end of last season, it's just never worked. He's looked a lot more dangerous up top, even in the what's it called? The pre-season. Brian's been playing up top the whole time. hasn't changed position, hasn't gone to the right wing, and then first game of the season is like he goes out onto the right wing. I would have rather have seen Dorgu on the right wing, Cunha on the left, and Brian up top. Do you know what I mean? And I think that would have worked better than having Cunha up top. You know, and Cunha, what he basically had no preseason. He had one game that he played for preseason, like one full 90, and it's like he didn't look sharp. His touch isn't the greatest. Do you know what I mean? On a good day, his touch isn't the greatest, but he's sharp. You know, whereas today he just didn't look sharp. Was second guessing when he had the ball. When you can see it, he will have the ball at his feet. And there's a pass to be played. Then instead of playing that pass, he might take an extra touch. That pass is closed off, and then he'll like cut back, play a simple pass, and then play another pass. And it's like the whole thing that made us look good when Carrick came in last season was the fact that every pass seemed like it had intent behind it. It was boom, boom, forward, like boom, forward, like, and we're playing forward and we're like attacking teams. Whereas today it just felt like we're just passing sideways and we didn't really know how to link up. And that brings me on to Xerxes. Like, I feel so sorry for Xerxes, you know. I honestly do, man. I want him to stay at United because I think he's a great player. I think he's the best player in the team. He's a 10. But Bruno's had one game in pre-season. One. He didn't look good. One game, yet he starts and he plays the entire 90. I feel like this could be the demise of Carrick. If he persists with having to fit Bruno into the squad, I think he'll shoot himself in the foot, man. I think if he wants to do well, he has to find a way to either play Bruno right midfield or out of the way when we're trying to build up between the first third and the second third. Now, the people might look at me like, oh, Xerxes, whatever, but I know what I saw during preseason. The guy technically is probably the best at the team in terms of controlling the ball, how he looks after the ball, how he even like playing passes into people. It's little details, man, that I see with Xerxes that I'm like, how can this guy not get minutes? When someone tells me, oh, what's this person's attribute, and they tell me, oh, they get you goals and assists, it's like, that's like telling me I'd rather a girl that do something special on special occasions, like on my birthday, she might do something nice for me. On Christmas, she'll do something nice. Valentine's Day, she'll do something nice. But the rest of the time, she's just a nightmare to live with. How could you want that? I'd rather a girl that has the solid, like, every day, and then on my birthday and whatnot, she don't need to do anything. Like, Christmas don't need to do anything. Like, because she's looking after, like, on the daily, she's there. She's got the fundamentals. So when I'm looking at Xerxes, I'm looking at a player that's got all the fundamentals. So you can mold him and ask him to do whatever you need him to do because his fundamentals are sound. They can always control the ball. He can always find a teammate. He can always do them sort of things. So I would rather see Xerxes play. It's the first game of the season. It's whole. Bruno doesn't need to play. And I guarantee you, if Xerxes would have played this game and we would have lost 2-0, everyone will be criticising Xerxes. Everyone will be like, oh, Xerxes, first game in the Prem, and he had a good pre-season, but he can't do it in the Prem. And it's like, the guy can never, ever, ever get a fair shake. Ever. Ever since he's joined. is like he just gets disrespected by the managers and by fans alike. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense whatsoever. So I find it disappointing to say that. Like, I find it not disappointing. Disappointing is the wrong word. I find it annoying, to be honest. I find it annoying, the disrespect that Xerxes gets, man, and that nobody can see that he's a good player. But a player like Mason Mount, who's injured, who's been here 3 years and missed 72 games in 3 years, is like, he will never get spoken about like a Xerxes. Do you know what I mean? But it's like Xerxes, no fault of his own, Mount, but he's injury prone. People should be screaming, "Get out of the club! You're injury prone. You're always getting injured." Because when Martial was, his injury record, Martial missed 92 games in 9 years. Do you know what I mean? That's an average of what, 10 games a year, which is, quite a lot. But 72 games in 3 years, the guy's missing like basically almost like 25 games a season. But Martial was injury prone, but Mason Mount isn't. And he's got the number 7. And he's got 200, and he's on 250k a week. I'm sorry, man. I just dragged Mason Mount into this for no reason, but he needs to go, man. I'm angry. I'm angry that we lost. I had high expectations, but I do think that Bruno is definitely going to be a detriment to the team this season. Like, he's going to be a detriment to the team this season. He has been a detriment to the team overall. He does well. Personally, he does well. Bruno Fernandes does well. But the team don't necessarily always do well. And I feel it's probably time for him to move on, man. I hope that he goes this transfer window. If not, next transfer window, and I'm talking January, like, he can go. Probably won't, but definitely by next summer, man. Bruno has to be moved on. He has to be. Like, the second he came back into pre-season, you could see that it was all for Bruno. Like, it was, let's play to Bruno, let's play to Bruno, let's play to Bruno. Whereas when we had Xerxes and Lacey in the 10, it was, let's just play for the team. Let's do what works for the team at that moment in time. It's not just let's find Bruno, which I think is what's so frustrating. And maybe the players don't even notice that they do it. Maybe they don't notice that they do it. Maybe it's just a subconscious thing. But I don't know. He seems to have, like, the club, like, he's holding them like they have, maybe he has some dirt against the club or something. Like, is that he can't get dropped? Yeah, he can get you a goal and an assist, but what about the overall performance of the team? Everything, I think, other than the 2 set pieces, the defense didn't look that bad. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when we're building up with the ball, I think we looked good in the first and second third of the pitch. It was just when it got to, like, the front 4, it just didn't mesh well. But that's because, again, in pre-season, Dorgu was playing on the left wing, Mbeumo was playing up top, and Cunha wasn't playing up top. Do you know what I mean? Like, Cunha wasn't there. Like, he was and I think if he comes in, he needs to be a winger. He needs to play on that left-hand side. And I'd even put Dorgu on the right-hand side, or Cunha on the right-hand side, and Dorgu on the left-hand side. But Mbeumo needs to be up top, because he's good at triggering the press and forcing teams to go long and whatnot. We had loads of the ball today. Loads of it, but we didn't do much with it because Mbeumo on the right wing doesn't work. It just doesn't. I would have played him up top, played Cunha on the left, and had Dorgu on the right, or switch wings. And we even saw that in pre-season. Like, Mbeumo up top with Dorgu and Ahmad And I think if you want him to press as well, like Cunha does give you that tenacity in the press. So it's like he can press. Maybe not as good as Ahmad, but he can press and force teams to do certain things. So I'm just, yeah, man. It's like, it's frustrating, man. It's so frustrating, man. Because I don't think a lot of people will see what I'm seeing with Bruno. Like, it's just, he will do well for himself, but at the detriment of the team. So I feel like he needs to move on in order for us to be better as a team. In pre-season, we look good without Bruno. We played our best football without Bruno Fernandes. The second he came back, it's like we don't know what we're doing in the final third anymore. Because we're not trusting what we're doing. We're not trusting, like, it just seems so disjointed. You know what I mean? People taking like 2 touches extra on the ball that you don't need to take. Maybe that might be to Hull's defending. Super, super compact. But at the same time, it wasn't, yeah, like a great performance. Santos and Tielemans, I think they did all right. There was a couple passes that I can remember that Tielemans sort of played and they got intercepted and whatnot. Like, but Heaven looked decent as well, punching passes into the midfield, and yeah, like it just, like the defense looked all right. It was 2 set-piece goals that we conceded. It looked all right. Like the defense looked decent to me, innit? To me, the defense looked decent, but we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see what backline he goes with against Ipswich next week, man. But obviously that game's at Old Trafford. Hopefully Ahmad is back as well. But again, like, we shouldn't be hoping for an Ahmad versus Hull or versus Ipswich. These are 2 teams that have come up from the Championship. There's 1 loss, -2 goal difference out the gate. Out the gate, we're 20th. We could have been second. We could have smoked these up 5-0 and been first. Do you know what I mean? And the whole conversation would have been completely different. But I think as soon as Bruno Fernandes is on that pitch and then he's doing that fucking team talk in the huddle in the middle, it's just, oh, mate, do me a favor, man. Do me a favor, bro. It's just not it. Like, Bruno is just not it. It's just not it, man. Like, every time the ball gets punched into him, like, he needs space to operate. Bruno, he can't play in tight pockets. He needs space to get the ball out of his feet and put a delivery in. Like, there was one ball that I saw got played into him by Tielemans, where it was like, ball got played, touch, but it'll pop over the top, boom, like, into Bruno. He chested it down or whatever, couldn't get it under control. But it's like, Bruno needs space to operate, man. Space. Because his close control isn't really there. Like, he needs like a couple yards in front of him in order to find passes and that. So I think it's time for Bruno to leave, man. I think it's time for Bruno to leave. And when people are thinking, oh, who's going to get you the goals and the assists and whatnot? Like, who's going to be the person to get you the goals and the assists? I think we'll be fine without him. I think Xerxes can play in the 10. Lacey can play in the 10. Ahmad could probably play in the 10. Do you know what I mean? I know Kobe can definitely play in the 10. You know, Cunha can play in the 10. Like, there's so many players that can play in the 10 that when we're relying on, when we're And I think we need to notice this as well as United fans. If you're going to be hell-bent on, no, we need Bruno, then that's a problem. That's a problem. That's not like, that's an issue. If you're on a Bruno Fernandes in order to get us, that he has to play for us. Like, that's, look at that and think, is that right? Like, you need that one player to get you results. Like, Bruno, he's not it. He's not it. He needs space to operate. I see him now in the way we're trying to play football. He needs to be on the right midfield, whipping crosses in acres of space, just whipping them in like De Bruyne used to do. Because he can't operate in tight spaces. He can't operate with 2 yards of space. He can't. His touch just isn't that. And yeah, man. So I don't really know, man. I'm just, a bit angry, man. A bit angry. However, it is what it is, man. 2-0 first game. Taking an L out the gate, I'm gonna get banned to that work, bro. I'm gonna get banned to that work because I said, yeah, man, we're gonna do well this season. But obviously, it's one game, innit? It's one game, and we have an opportunity. 37 games left. We just have to bite that bullet and go, yeah, move on to the next. Is an L, we move on. The players can't be dwelling on that. Do you know what I mean? Us as fans, we're going to hold it for the whole week. Do you know what I mean? But the players can't be dwelling on that performance, and hanging their heads and crying about it, or feeling sorry for themselves. They just have to, boom, lost, wipe that away, can't do anything about it. We go for 3 points next week. But it's so frustrating because now it's like we've put ourselves in a position where we're -2 goal difference. If nobody else loses by 2 goals, we're going to be bottom of the table. So it's put us in a position where we are, I wouldn't say no, we're not cooked, but it's put us in a position where it's like, cool, it's an uphill battle now. Do you know what I mean? Where we could have been up there. But it's all coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Well done to Hull. They won 2-0. They beat us. Great way to start their Premier League campaign. And who knows, man, that might be the only game that they win this year. Because they might get absolutely battered by everyone else. That might be the only game that they win this year. But we'll see. We'll see. Another game. Well, first game of the season. We lost. Is what it is. And we move on to the next, man. So, thank you people for watching. I appreciate you. If you come across this video on your feed, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. And I'm gonna be doing more live content this year. So as opposed to, obviously, I was doing shorts before, editing clips of people that I watch. You got Ryan, Texino, Saeed, and whatnot. So yeah, I'm gonna start doing like my own sort of content, grab my own audience. I want to start doing more lives. It's just been, my work schedule is a bit hectic. Like, I work 6 days a week, and obviously I've got kids as well. So to find the time to do lives has been difficult, but I'm definitely creating space to do lives on my channel. And now that I know how to set it up, I'm gonna make it a bit make it more professional setup and whatnot. You know what I mean? So, and set that all up, man. So more content coming this year. Obviously, the first live stream is an L for United, which is not ideal, but we move, innit? We move, man. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe. In a bit.